Okay. All right, checking. All right, mic's good. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Bulls post-game stream tonight. I won't lie, be prepared for a crash out from me because I'm not happy about this game. I'm all aboard the tank train right now. I want this to be clear. Like, I want this Bulls team to lose right now because, I mean, it's L's like this where the Bulls, again, they're trying to win. But they're just showing that they are just one of the worst teams in the league, and this core is garbage. I'm just overall a little bit pissed over right now, and it's a lot towards Donovan and just how he's handling Buzelis. I'm all for losing, and especially if Buzelis gets to actually play the game and, you know, he's actually featured in the offense and gets up shots and plays a lot of minutes and defends a lot of guys. Like, if we lose that game, so be it. If we win that game, so be it. But it's the fact that this Bulls team is just so terrible overall, and we're watching vets get a shit ton of minutes tonight. Like, Vucevic got a ton of minutes tonight in a horrific game, and I'm watching role players get more shots than him tonight, and I'm just like, I mean, what's the point of even this game tonight? You're trying to win this game, and you're so bad that you can't even win it. And role players are taking more shots than your best potential player on the roster right now. This Bulls team is going to continue to be in hell purgatory until they actually get their priorities straight and they actually start featuring Buzelis correctly. Because holy shit, man, this is a game that Buzelis should 100% been featured in. He got off to another good start, and the Bulls just forgot about him for like most of this game. He was at 5 shots for basically the entire second half. Billy decided not even to close with him, even though there was basically no reason not to close with him. Like, he should still close with Buzelis, and he didn't. And yet we're watching Kobe White tonight just jack up threes and start forcing shots, and Giddey can't finish around the basket tonight. Like, I'm just like, yo, I understand that your core is Giddey, Kobe, and Buzelis, but maybe you should actually feature the third guy more, because I have a lot more faith in him becoming a good player versus some of these other players right now. Also, he should be getting more shots than Isaac Okoro. I don't give a flying fuck if Isaac Okoro is left wide open by the Pelicans all night, which he was, by the way, which shows that he is not a good player. But either way, I need better overall shot distribution right now, because I don't need Isaac Okoro taking 10 shots in like 19 minutes tonight. Okay, I am living with how the shot distribution was going on tonight. I don't understand what it is with Donovan and his hate towards Buzelis. It doesn't make any damn sense. And I can't wait until I can finally say that the Bulls no longer have a core built around Giddey, Kobe, and Buzelis, because these three together just don't work. The Pelicans were better tonight, and Zion Williamson came off the bench. Jeremiah Fears was the best guard tonight on the floor, and I don't think it's even a question. Trey Murphy, I think, was better than anybody on the floor tonight. And again, this is with Zion Williamson not starting tonight. This Bulls team is not good. They're trying to win with a core that is not better than the Pelicans right now with Zion Williamson off the bench. They're just flat out awful. That Hornets win, I didn't feel too great about it overall, because again, Buzelis was benched to end the game, and here we are talking again that Buzelis is not getting enough minutes and was also benched to end the game tonight. So, we'll go over a bunch of stuff. I got a lot of defensive breakdowns to show you that the Bulls defense, even though the Pelicans didn't shoot that great tonight, the Bulls defense still sucked. And, you know, I was told by a specific broadcaster that the Bulls offense isn't the problem, and it's defensively the Bulls have to figure things out. And meanwhile, the Bulls have put up 104 points in this game where the Pelicans barely play any defense. But, you know, you guys get to choose who you want to listen to. All I'm going to say is that I have been pointing out that the Bulls offense has been pretty treacherous the past 12 games. Before that Hornets game, the Bulls offense was ranked dead last in the league. So are you going to trust the person that says that the Bulls offense is not the issue? Or are you going to trust the person that says that, hey, the Bulls offense is ranked dead last in the association in the last 10 games before the Hornets game? The offense is an issue as well as the defense. So it's up to you guys and who you want to trust. But overall, I think it's a pretty obvious answer right here. But before I get into it all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you hit the like button on the stream, helps me out a lot. I sincerely do appreciate it. Thank you for all the support on the content recently, especially for all the Bulls on tap. content that I've been pushing out to you guys. You guys have been supporting it a lot. I sincerely do appreciate it. Like I said, fair warning. I might actually crash out tonight, so just be prepared. I am really annoyed with how just Buzelis is being handled. And I can't stand it at this point. So again, I'm gonna keep making my voice very clear about how I think Buzelis is being handled. And until things change, I think that we need to keep talking about it. I don't know. I'm really just overall pissed off. This Bulls team's still trying to win games, and I don't know why, honestly. What is up with this team's inability to get Matas the ball in the second half of games? Bunch of balls, I swear. Giddy's the only dude who's passed into him. I would even argue Giddy didn't pass it to him enough tonight. I don't think Giddy played a really good game. He picked up those early fouls that were just like, dude, what are you doing? I don't even think Giddy even deserves even the benefit of the doubt tonight, honestly. I don't think this was a good game from him. For anyone wondering why this team sucks, 3 things stand out. Kobe shite can't shoot or defend. Matas lost all confidence of Vooch being Vooch. And then obviously when Giddy doesn't do like what we've been seeing usually, it's flat out awful. So yeah, again, this team is garbage. What's new? Matas has 5 fucking shots. Yes. Just really quickly, I understand that the box score doesn't show everything, but Isaac Okoro took 10 shots tonight. Vucevic took 16 shots tonight. Kobe took 18 shots tonight. Somehow Josh Giddey and Matas Buzelis Josh Giddey had more minutes or more game time than Matas Buzelis tonight, and Giddey was in foul trouble and can barely even play in that second quarter due to his foul trouble, yet somehow Buzelis played less minutes than him. Herter took 12 shots tonight, but he was like honestly the only guy making shots tonight, so that's fair. But Trey Jones took 7 shots and was wide open on many 3-point looks he just didn't make. Terry actually made some shots tonight, so I guess there's that. But it just, how the hell is Patrick Williams and Matas Buzelis splitting time? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get this. I understand Patrick Williams had a good game against Charlotte. It was not an overall good game from him tonight. It was all right. But, like, just because Stacey King says that Patrick Williams has been good this season does not mean that Patrick Williams has been good this season, okay? Patrick Williams has been awful this season overall, and especially awful in the 7-game losing streak. That is the complete opposite of what Stacey King said in the broadcast, but meanwhile, you know, we have people talking about Patrick Williams and his praises or whatever. Like, I just don't understand it. And don't get me wrong, I think Patrick, like, he showed some hustle tonight, but he also just showed some tunnel vision after making, like, his first 2 shots and was trying to attack the basket in one moment, and it was finding some open looks for some guys. Like, I do sincerely appreciate that, but it wasn't like he was overall, like, that amazingly effective. So I just don't get it. I don't know how Patrick Williams can get more gameplay than Matas Buzelis at this point, even if Patrick Williams is playing good. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I just despise how Donovan coached tonight and everything about it. Pel's record about to be 5-22. 2 of those 5 wins are against us. Yeah, so we have made up now for 40% of the Pelicans wins for the season. And guess what? We get to face the Pelicans 2 more times. So they could go ahead and show that they're the better team 2 more times this season. And I think another one's coming up here in December. So we'll get to see him again. Actually, even more pathetic, they were actually trying to win. It also hurts even though that we could have had the Pels pick, but I decided I wanted to. Yeah, the Bulls front office has come out and said that they weren't called by New Orleans. That's a flat out lie. I think so. Man, we'll see. It's speculation. It's just speculation. But remember when some people thought we were this season's version of the Pacers with their so-called depth minus the Siakam? Yeah. Remember that people keep saying that we have a Halliburton and we still don't, as good as Giddey has actually played. These recent little stretches from Giddey against the Pacers was a prime example of it. And obviously this game is another example of it where he's picking up these fouls that are just unnecessary from him. He also just overall when he did play, it wasn't that good except for that third quarter from Giddey. He was also benched to end this game. I'm trying to remember the other game though. I think it was against Brooklyn. No, he played well against Brooklyn, but it was against Golden State. Giddey did not play well against Golden State either. So again, it's like, look, Giddey's been the best player this season. He's just not Halliburton, all right? Final score is 114-104. Yeah. Pelicans have a good amount of size and just body up the Bulls with their big bodies. It's not even just that. Like, the Bulls gave up 14 offensive rebounds. They gave up 10 in the first half, but the Pelicans weren't making their shots tonight. They just were better defensively, and they have a better core and guys that can actually go and score one-on-one like Jeremiah Fears. Like, they just have a better overall core and overall just a little bit better shot making, and they have guys that can actually get to the free throw line, and it was a big difference against the Bulls. I will say you are right in terms of the rebounding difference overall, but I mean the Bulls, they had a similar amount of offensive rebounds, but yeah, overall it is definitely a size difference maybe, but it's just still, to me, it's just like, I think this Bulls team should have won this game tonight, even as I'm asking for the tank, and they're just bad. Like, they can't make shots at the end of the day. Imagine watching this the night after OKC/San Antonio. Unfortunately, my internet was out the entire time that game was happening, so I couldn't watch all of it, but it's insane, the difference of level of basketball. Read the comments, didn't sound like a good game, not a good game. I'm sorry to say to you, Flash, it was not a good game. It was a flat out pretty disgusting game from this Bulls team. And again, like, I'm all for the L's right now. This Bulls team needs to get better lottery odds at this moment in time, but to not have this guy featured more and to not play him 30 minutes at bare minimum every night is just disgusting to me. Like, this is a game where he was playing just fine, okay, and he was not in foul trouble, and you didn't feature him at all tonight. Meanwhile, this guy is jacking up every three possible. This guy's missing shots at the rim, and this guy can't make a shot around the basket for what it's worth, and this guy's just jacking up threes because the Pelicans are like, yeah, we dare you to make the shot because we know you're not a good shooter. Meanwhile, there's Bulls fans that tell me that Isaac Okoro is a good shooter. He's not. Like, I don't know what to tell people, but like, the Pelicans were basically just like, Isaac Okoro, yeah, shoot the three-point shot, we dare you to. Trey Jones, shoot the three-point shot, we dare you to. The guys can shoot those threes, but can also still get Buzelis more involved in the offense, okay? It's just disgusting just to see this Bulls team not feature this man who has the best potential on the roster. I just don't understand it. Yeah, it is definitely yikes. Like I said, Salty Solution, I think we're gonna lose, and here we are. I still believe we can win a playoff game this year. Sorry, I mean playing game. Yeah, even at this point for me, I don't think we were gonna win a playing game, but who knows? The Bucks lost tonight, and so we also lost, so we're still below the Bucks in standings. Meanwhile, the Hornets won tonight against Cleveland, which is just shocking. I don't understand that, but it just kind of makes me think that if we just lost to the Hornets, like, the Hornets will be above us in the standings, I think, or at least they'd be tied, I think, in terms of record or wins, but who knows? That's for a different universe, I guess. Yeah. Zion put on a show on the Bulls and he wasn't expected to play, but when it comes to the Bulls, he was always ready to play. I don't even think Zion even put on a show tonight. Like, Zion was like, all right. Like, he was actually having like some bad turnovers against Patrick Williams. Like, he wasn't like playing the overall best. Like, what the guys that were putting on the show tonight was Jeremiah Fears and Trey Murphy. These two guys were just absolutely just lighting the team up tonight on multiple aspects. And Jeremiah Fears in that fourth quarter was just putting on a show. He would. I'm adamant that this guy was the best guard on the floor tonight. Like, it was just incredible just to watch Fears just go and just do his work against multiple different defenders. He made a move on Zach Collins and still was able to finish through him at the rim. He got Kevin Huerter on that little Shea shoulder move, but it was also a good dribble move. Like, Zion, he played pretty well overall, but like, he also had some moments of struggle, and like, it wasn't like the overall like most insane game from Zion compared to like how we saw previously in November. Like, it was like a pretty alright game from him, yet like still the Bulls somehow just looked absolutely just lost in general, and like, they can't guard guys very clearly, and somehow Matkovic came in and was better than Vucevic all in one half. If you crash out about Matas, I would be willing to let him go at this point. Let the big renovations of the UC start if that means the Hawks have to spend a year all stand the Bulls for your win trust. Yeah, I'm trying to hold in my crash out. I really don't want to, because I am tired and like I don't want to like use up all this energy and like give myself an aneurysm before bed. But I just don't understand. I'm lost. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this guy was playing just fine tonight, and he was doing everything fine, and yet we just forget about him. He's just standing in the corner. Taking your training to get better doesn't matter if you don't have a front office or coach that you know what they're doing. Oh, I mean, it's insane how much I despise Billy Donovan right now. Like, I just, yeah, the front office doesn't know what they're doing. The Billy Donovan as a coach is, like, Vucevic should have been benched in this game. I don't want to hear any excuses for him. He should have been benched in this game. Zach Collins and Jalen Smith both should have played more minutes, but yeah, they didn't for some reason. I don't get it. So we applauded Billy Donovan last game for benching Vucevic, rightly so, and yet he doesn't do it this game for some stupid reason. Last night's Madhouse trivia shows the Hawks at least know to give the fan base the proper fan service, bringing back Mesmer for the anthem and dude at 75 still has pipes. Yeah, I agree that the Blackhawks are doing things better right now than the Bulls, very clearly. So we have lost Bedard, but at least you see their long-term vision. Sure. Much as I hate to say it, I think Montes is overrated too. I disagree personally. I think that we're just not using him at all, which is just, it's bothering the shit out of me at this point. Watch the Pelicans broadcast with Joel Myers, and he was commentary of the fans, but not the Bulls franchise. I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But it just isn't letting Montes play his game. It just, I don't get it, man. Like, I won't be crashing out here if Buzal's had 10 shots tonight. I'm not asking him to be getting 20 shots. I'm asking him just to be involved in the offense, and yet I'm like watching this game and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is Kobe doing tonight? I don't understand what Kobe's doing tonight. This man was just jacking up threes, especially in that first half, and he can't make a damn three tonight. And I'm just like, what is he doing? Like, I don't need this from Kobe, and yet this man came in shooting 29.8% from three-point range tonight, and his percentage got significantly lower due to his bad shooting. Like, I don't know what Kobe's doing. I don't get it. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, you know, I was putting you in trade talks this past game, or this last game, and hoping that I could get Baron J out of you. But right now, if you're gonna not shoot the three-point shot, then teams aren't gonna want you. So it's early for Kobe still, but like, I don't get what this was tonight. This was flat out awful from him. He made some shots in that third quarter when he started to attack the basket, but like, I don't love the game from him overall. He was not doing good things tonight. The team is still unsatisfying to watch. Can we just tank it, Montes all the usage, fire Bill, get rid of Vooch and Kobe shut, so we can actually have a future, something to look forward to? I mean, honestly, it's insane. Tony Diaz was the other commentator for New Orleans, so it was nice to hear actual analysis, not stupid catchphrases. Oh, please, man. Ryan, I might also crash out about Stacey King tonight. If you were listening to Stacey King tonight, oh my god, like, he just said so many things tonight. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you guys remember when Misi had that putback dunk? Okay, like, I don't know what exactly you guys think, but like, in my opinion, that was a clean putback dunk. Like, the ball was off the rim, and like, Stacey King was saying that the Pelicans got away with one because the ball, in his eyes, even after watching the replay, was still on the rim. And I'm just like, no, it's not. Like, what are you talking about? I just completely disagree. He also said that Patrick Williams was playing very well this season and was also playing pretty well during the Bulls 7-game losing streak, when, like, we all know that's just not true. Like, Patrick Williams has one good game in Charlotte, and he has somehow tricked Stacey King into thinking that he's played well all season long, when he's had by far his worst year of his career, and that's saying something after he had his worst year of his career last season. And then yet again, it was all about Posta Vucevic, and we saw Vucevic absolutely just airball a hook shot over Matkovic in the closing stretches of this game, and I absolutely went insane on Twitter about it, because all I keep hearing about is that it's a simple game and we need to see Vucevic in the post, and Vucevic was ineffective in the post tonight. So I just don't understand what the hell Stacey King's looking at, and so that's my other crash out, honestly, for tonight. Blackhawks should go to Marquee and let Reinsdorf crash out financially. CHSM, I'm not even a Cubs fan. I don't think Marquee's that much better, honestly, with how they carry their network and everything, but I mean, sure, yeah. It was only real winning minutes. I actually disagree. I think that the winning minutes came in for the Bulls was when they were in the second quarter. Or first and foremost, it was that Giddey actually got into foul trouble early on and had to come out of the game. And then in the second quarter, Billy decided to actually go with no point guard. He didn't run Trey Jones, Kobe White, or Josh Giddey out there, and the Bulls played just fine. And it was because defensively they actually looked like they looked actually like decent. They were actually like putting up like okay defensive possessions, and the offense was still actually like showing ways to be able to create some offense without those guys on the floor tonight. So I do think Giddey was the only real minutes in the third quarter. I would agree with that. When Kobe came off the floor, also Buzelis came off the floor, which is just pissing me off. But yeah, when Kobe came off the floor and it was Giddey kind of running the team, then I do think that was honestly the only real winning minutes. But even then, I still don't even think the Bulls looked that impressive during that stretch. I think that during that stretch, the Pelicans offense just died, and the Bulls defense was still just terrible. And I'm like watching the guys, and I'm just like, oh, I mean, it's a wide open three. They just happened to miss it. And then the Pelicans also missed some free throws. So no matter what, like if you want to say Giddey was the only real winning minutes, it wasn't that impressive even when he was the winning minutes. So it's not that impressive by him at all tonight. Kobe Montes, Patrick Collins, and 4 picks for Giannis, and shut down Giannis so you get a guaranteed 5th overall pick. Yeah, it's funny that you think that this is going to get Giannis. I promise you, there are so many other teams right now that are contending that can put together a significantly better package than this right now and get Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, right now. The Bulls don't have the best offer to the Milwaukee Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and yet they're garbage. Meanwhile, though, there are teams right now out there and they're winning games, and they can put together a significantly better package for the Milwaukee Bucks and get Giannis and have a better chance of getting Giannis, and they're still winning. So they wouldn't have to give up their main pieces. So the second half was a big example of the game where absolutely wide open misses were on repeat. I don't understand, honestly. But then, obviously, the Pelicans started making their shots, and it's just like, oh, well, the Pelicans weren't going to shoot this terribly, which they honestly did, but they're in that third quarter stretch. Like, they were hitting their shots early in that quarter, and it looked awful from the Bulls. And that was with Giddey out there, by the way, just saying. Like, it wasn't like all of Giddey's minutes were great. It was not good when Giddey was out there to start the third quarter. The Bulls were getting wrecked. Yeah, go Bears. Woohoo. Who should have had more minutes for sure? Terry looked okay in his minutes. Yeah, Terry honestly looked all right. He made a step back 3. That's a good sign from him. That was good. And he did attack the basket a little bit. So that was all right from Terry. There was some decent defense from him. I still hope that Vooch wouldn't close this game. I mean, I was hoping. It just is. That we get one thing of our wish, and it's not going to happen again. Even Giddey has trade value at this point. I argue he could get 2 first rounders at this stage. See, that's what I was hoping for. I just don't know, honestly, what his kind of value is around the league, but I do know that his trade value is at his highest right now. So, again, I've made the argument for why I would trade Giddey. I know a lot of Bulls fans would hate it, but I made the argument why I would. And it's because he's played well, and I'm just like, yeah, like, this Bulls team is already garbage. Just cash in on his value now. Fully reset. It's not his fault. This Bulls team is awful, but I'm just like, yeah, just cash in now, because I don't see the point of him just kind of sticking around right now. And again, if he's not gonna be your main guy, like, you know, I think that it would really open up that the Bulls are willing to go ahead and just draft another guard or something. But I don't know at this point. I know people are very much against that idea. That's fine. I've just made my stance clear about it. I don't enjoy the place where Kobe waves up players aside to set up, etc., and he randomly puts up a not so open 3 early shot clock. I don't understand it either, and I can't tell if it's fully his fault or if it's that the Bulls offense just decided not to run plays in some of those possessions. Like, I think the Bulls were passing it just fine tonight. The ball was moving, except then when Kobe decided to like kind of ISO, I was just like, what are you doing? Like, you're not making your shot tonight. I don't know what the hell you're looking for. He made some shots in the interior, so that's good to see, but I don't understand his thought process tonight. Not to mention that his defense was also not good tonight either. It's just, he's such a tiny dude. He is a tiny guy, but he was incredible tonight. I mean, Fears was making this Bulls defense look like absolutely nothing, which I know it's not that easy, or it's easy to do that. Like, it's not that hard to make this Bulls defense look terrible, but he was finishing in traffic. Like, he finished over Collins. I was just like, wow, like that's incredible by Jeremiah Fears, man. Like, he was by far the best guard on the floor tonight, and I don't think it's even a question. It's because Giddey was in foul trouble. So, well, the UC renovations we need to get some of that energy to the old stadium had. I feel for you kids that never saw that. Yeah. Yeah. If he is to blossom, you'll need more. We need some Jose in him defensively, or at least some of that style. Fears, sure, right, but I mean, offensively, he looked by far the best guard out there. I don't even think he was even that bad defensively tonight. So, kudos to the fans for not showing. The ones still there should have booed. Only emotion was showed when Green Bay lost. I don't know if you heard at the end of the broadcast, but there were a lot of fans booing actually, Ryan. Like at the end when the Pelicans were dribbling it out, there were a lot of fans booing the Bulls. Like it was pretty loud. So I hope it continues. If you are going to games, please boo this team. I'm sick and tired of this team at this point. But the biggest thing, and I'm very happy to see it. Now it is a Sunday, so I understand that it's a Sunday night game is probably not going to get that many fans to the game, but this is probably the second time where I'm looking at the United Center and it looks absolutely just dead. So there's still obviously a good amount of people going there, and I understand that. But in comparison to when the Bulls are always like at the top of the league in terms of like attendance, like to see like at least 2 games now where on Sunday nights the Bulls, like there's just not that many people in the standings and at the United Center, I'm like, hey, good. Keep it going, because this Bulls team does not deserve your money, and especially Reinsdorf does not deserve your money. So if you can make this Bulls team panic, that'd be great overall in terms of like, oh, we're not selling tickets. Now I will say they're probably going to go ahead and make a panic move to go and try to like trade for win now pieces to try to rejuvenate this fan base into thinking that this team is good again. I'm going to hate that, but if the Bulls fans can still then not go to games if they make those panic moves, that'd be good. I am not going to ever tell you how to fan or if you should not go to Bulls games or whatever. I'm not going to stop you, but I mean, I've been adamant about this channel. This channel is not supposed to make you a Bulls fan. This channel is supposed to be about Bulls content and analyzing the games. So like, I'm not here to tell you to be a Bulls fan at all. If you don't want to be a Bulls fan anymore, that I think is honestly a probably good decision. But at the end of the day, for what I want for this team, I do think that if you can find a way to go ahead and just be like, yeah, don't go to games. Like, make the Reinsdorfs feel the emptiness of the money. Like, that'd be great. But it won't. I understand that with, you know, it's currently, you know, a lot of people were probably at the Bears game today. It was at Soldier Field, so I'm sure a lot of people spent their money at Soldier Field today instead of going to United Center. So, you know, I'm sure that that's going to play a part of it. And so moving forward, right, I do think that once the football season is over, I think that the Bulls' attendance is going to spike again. And I don't want to see that, but I'm sure it will. With all that said, we were only about 8 players short of AK's vision of having 9 to 10 good players to make a run. Yeah. Oh god, it's so good. Which is a tank captain, abilities to tank in general. I mean, I don't know, honestly. If they're actually so trying, then they're just terrible. If they are actually flat out tanking, good job. But for all I care about is that I think that this Bulls team, the players and the coaching staff is still trying to win. So, you know, if this is going to continue and you're going to make Vucevic get 16 shots, but Buzelis has 5, I'm going to be pretty overall pissed off still, even if it ends up being L's. But yeah. Okoro's the biggest non-factor in offense I think he has been, mostly due to how open they chose to leave him ever, even with the ball. Oh, bro, there was a 3-point shot for Okoro, which I think was honestly his last shot of the night, where Alvarado was like just stood there and was just like he had every ability to like close out to Okoro. He had so much time. He saw the pass going to Okoro and he just stood there and was just like, yeah. And it was just I like legit chuckled out loud, and of course Okoro missed the shot. And I was just like, okay, like, it's terrible at this point. Like, Okoro had a good offensive game last game. Not good defensively, though, by any means. And he was absolutely a non-factor in this one. So I just don't understand it. And, you know, Billy didn't play him a lot, but he somehow almost got the same amount of minutes as Buzelis. We had the worst outlook of any team in the league. At the same time, we were still only 10th in the lottery odds. Pretty much zero hope at this point. Oh, I'm expecting like the 11th overall pick again. Don't get me wrong. This Bulls team's gonna win enough games to not increase their lottery odds. And someone's gonna jump up. Like, we're gonna be 10th, and someone from the last 4 are gonna jump up. So I fully expect to get the 11th overall pick. Don't worry. We aren't getting to the plane that's going to Milwaukee. I agree, but it matters if they trade Giannis or not. On Zion, he was still clogging the paint and playing well for a minutes restriction. The Pelicans broadcast was praising him for playing less than 100%. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think he played it pretty good. I just don't think he was putting on like a massive show. Like, he put on like that, he had that alley-oop dunk at the end there, but like, I don't think it was like a dominant performance by him by any means. And yet the Bulls got wrecked tonight. So, Fears is actually the star of this. Oh yeah, Fears was by far, I think, the star. It's him and Trey Murphy. It's between those two. Yeah. Fears was incredible in that fourth quarter. Like, he did everything in that fourth quarter for the Pelicans, and that's with Zion on the floor. Like, yeah, Fears was just incredible. Yeah, Billy need to go to the movement he called his offensive plan, ran him back when we had DeMar and Zach. I actually think that the Bulls offense was fine tonight. They just didn't make their shots. They had 26 assists tonight. So for all the people like, oh, we're not passing enough. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, legit, most of our shots made were assisted. The Bulls just shot 26% on 49 threes tonight. Like, yeah, you're not going to have the best offensive numbers if you shoot 26% from three-point range and 41% from the field, and Vucevic is missing shots at the rim. Like, it's just going to look bad. Like, I think the offense was honestly totally fine. They generated a ton of open looks. They just had guys not able to make their shots. Like, Trey Jones couldn't make a three. Okoro was 1 for 7. Like, Kobe White was 1 for 10. Like, it's gonna make the offense look bad when guys are wide open and they're not making their shots at this point. This team should have been running a lot more. I even think that they ran. I think the Bulls were honestly fine in terms of these categories. Like, I think the Bulls offense was honestly okay in terms of like running and getting out in transition and actually being like moving around on offense and moving the ball. It's just the fact that this Bulls team sucks. Like, I think that it's just something that we have to come to realization about, is that this Bulls team sucks. This Bulls team does not have enough shot makers on this team. Okay, that's why this offense sucks. Like, this Bulls team is doing everything fine. They're doing everything fine on offense in tonight's game. Besides making the shots. Like, they had so many wide open shots tonight. I completely disagree. If you think that this Bulls team was not running enough tonight, or was not moving the ball enough tonight, or the players were not moving enough tonight, I would just heavily disagree with you. I'm just telling you that I think that the reason why this Bulls offense didn't look too great is because they don't have enough shot makers, and the three-point shots were not going down because they're being shot by guys that are not good, but good three-point shooters. Okay? Like, at the end of the day, it comes down to shot making, as always, as I've always said. But you have guys out there in Okoro and Trey Jones, and they took 12 threes tonight. Like, they're not going to make those shots. They're not good three-point shooters. So they're wide open, though. Like, you can't tell me that they were not wide open and that was not a quality look generated by the offense, okay? It is definitely because the Pelicans just decided not to guard them, but, like, you're still making the right pass. You're still having a wide open look from three-point range, and they just missed. Like, again, it just comes down to just the inability to make shots. That's why this offense has not looked so great, is because guys can't make shots. Like, your center that is supposed to be heavily relied on in terms of points, he can't make shots at the rim right now. Like, this is why the offense isn't good. I don't know why people all of a sudden are saying like the offense or like the pace is like slowing down or anything. The Bulls' pace is fine. Like, the passing is fine. What's not happening right now is that guys are not making shots right now. That's what's happening. Like, I heavily disagree with the idea that it's the offense is like being bogged down. I heavily disagree with that. I think that this Bulls team is still running. They're still moving effectively. They're not making their looks that are being generated right now. Hence why I've always said that if you're going to be making a team around depth and like role players, you're going to have games like this. Like, when you're so dependent on, everybody eats offense, everybody's gonna get a shot, everyone's gonna be involved with the offense, then when you're dependent on these guys to actually make some shots consistently night in, night out, you're gonna get games like this. And this is why they're not gonna be a good offensive team overall for the season. It's because, like, yeah, you're gonna have nights where everyone's making their damn looks, but then there's also nights like this where you don't have a superstar player that can go out and actually generate open looks, but also take 20 shots a game and make, get to 30 points efficiently, that you're gonna have to depend on the role players to actually make some shots. And guess what? It didn't happen tonight. Hence why everyone's saying, the Bulls offense sucked. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, the offense sucked because the role players can't make their damn looks, which is why it's such a bad idea in the first place. But you're also, if you're trying to claim that the Bulls offense is no longer moving or not passing, heavily disagree. They're doing everything that they can right now. They just don't have a superstar, obviously, but depending on role players to be your offense at all times, you're gonna have terrible games like this. I'm not shocked to see this, personally. I know maybe some people are, but these are wide open looks tonight. The Pelicans basically just let them shoot threes tonight, and the Bulls can convert. So that's how it is at the end of the day. Think if I could leak pass in the Pels broadcast? Yeah. That only plays well in NC, deal him to Charlotte. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just deal him to Charlotte at this point. You hear Rusty Buckets go off on the Bulls. That video was peak. I unfortunately don't really like Rusty Buckets right now. He said some things that I just heavily disagree with, but it's just in terms of his basketball takes. But yeah, I was aware of his video. I did not watch it though. Yeah, he's probably going to the Rockets. Seems like the Rockets are out on him, honestly, but we'll see where he goes. And those picks will be worthless. We just have to remind them of Vooch trade, and they'll be salivating over our picks. I think Zion played so that he can increase his trade value to a team like the Bulls. Bulls cannot just nab Zion, but get a few more players who aren't getting much PT. I mean, how are we gonna nab Zion without like trading like Buzelis or like a Sengi away? Like, I don't want to personally trade picks. I think this team is too bad to trade picks, so I don't think it's really worth it. But I'd rather Zion than Anthony Davis, I guess. Bulls have players who are getting too much PT despite playing bad. I mean, I agree, but this is how the team's built, right? Like, you're supposed to have the depth. There's apparently by many Bulls fans, this Bulls team has great depth, right? And so we saw tonight that only one starter is at 30 minutes or more tonight. What happened? Oh, yeah, the depth isn't actually that good. The Bulls' offensive players in this depth isn't really that good. It's not shocking to me. Like, I'm not shocked to see this at all. Your depth overall isn't that great. Like, I was saying it, but at the end I was too now. Oh, okay. Also, Bulls should have had their Saturday night UC card revoked until they can be a consistent winning franchise. Nah, I can't control that, but I mean, sure. It was cool it was cool on the Bears once, so nobody wanted to watch the lowly Bulls. I mean, yeah, like, you definitely, if you're anybody in Chicago right now, like, you definitely don't want to be watching the Bulls. So yeah, go spend the money at Soldier Field right now because the Bears are actually winning. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to find ways to if you're the Bulls, like, you gotta be if another team is winning, obviously, and they're also playing at the same time, like, if you're the Bulls, man, you gotta find a way to actually give fans a reason to watch, because right now there's just no reason to watch. So if a kid doesn't do a panic move, it'll be a top-notch horrible one. If he does a panic, oh yeah, I'm expecting a full-out panic move coming here, because it's bad overall, like, moments right now for the Bulls, and like, I am definitely expecting like a full-out panic move because they expect this Bulls team to actually be in the playoffs this season for some stupid reason. And I just, yeah. Here's where I'll disagree. If the team can't hit from three, just take the ball to the hoop. That's basketball 101. Right, but when the opposing team is basically taking one of their defenders off of one of your guys on the floor, so they're basically bringing two to the basketball, or they're heavily like guarding the paint because they can just sag off of Isaac Okoro or Trey Jones at all moments. Like, I don't think running into the paint is a good idea overall. Like, I think if you're gonna be running into four defenders in the paint, I think that's a problem overall. So, like, at the end of the day, the Bulls moved and found the open man. Like, I think that's something that we have to all just understand. Like, it's an open guy. Like, I don't think honestly that was anything wrong. And you know, it's on ability to adjust. See, this is where I think you have a point, Ryan. Like, you could say that, yeah, like, you need to be taken to the basket more, but my point is, again, it's just that you're like, the Pelicans are just sagging off of a core. Like, they're not even guarding him out there. So you have another guy that is just standing in the paint, like playing free safety, basically. Okay, so what the adjustment should be from Billy Donovan, which we didn't really see much of tonight, was of, you gotta take a Coral and Trey Jones off the floor completely and make sure that you have enough three-point shooters out there so that you actually have like three-point threats that the defense has to guard. Then I agree with you that they need to attack the basket. I would definitely agree with you there. But as long as one of those guys is on the floor, and one of those guys usually is on the floor because of defensive purposes, because they're the better defenders, and the other guys on the floor that are actual shooters can't really defend, like, it's going to be harder to attack the paint. And honestly, I don't even think the Bulls were like that bad attacking the paint tonight. Like, I mean, 46 is like, yeah, we could definitely be a little bit higher, but it's not like it's like flat out awful. So you just gotta make your shots at the end of the day. I'll just keep saying it until the day I die when it comes to this sort of stuff, and people want to be all about like, oh, great passing, or oh my god, like look at his PRA stats or whatever, or oh my god, he's such an unselfish player. Specifically talking about Vucevic, it's just like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, I sincerely care about is that, do I have guys that can put the ball in the basket? And depending on your role players to have it every single night and be part of the offense, and to make sure that they're all involved and they're all getting their looks and they're all eating, is just like, you better have like the best role players in the world that can all make their shots. Like, I hate the overall just game plan and the build of this team. You still need your stars, and the Bulls just don't have that right now. They'll try to rely on the three and hurt them, but that's what's being open though. Like, okay. I understand you guys are gonna disagree with me on this, but and look, you have the right to disagree with me on this, okay? Let me just show you this play though, okay? Let me show you some plays that I'm just like, I mean, like they're just basically letting guys get wide open looks. Like, tell me right now that this is bad offense by the Bulls when I'm gonna show you this exact play here. And are you gonna tell me this is bad offense? Like, I disagree. I'm just gonna personally disagree with you if you think this is bad offense by the Bulls. Okay, like let's watch this play. Okay, so on this play specifically, okay, so Bulls have a switch, right? The Bulls ran a pick and roll with it was Giddey and Vucevic. You guys didn't see it. Bulls have a switch, all right? So right now you have Derek Queen guarding Josh Giddey. Okay, that's a mismatch, and also this is a mismatch if Vooch can actually take advantage of it, which he doesn't usually at this point. So Giddey decides to send Vucevic down low to try to make him a threat near the basket. Okay, as this happens though, watch Jose Alvarado. Okay, like pay attention to Jose Alvarado on this exact play, like throughout this entire possession. Okay, like he is just gonna decide, I'm gonna sell out when Josh Giddey tries to size up Derek Queen on this mismatch. Okay, Jose Alvarado sells out off of Isaac Okoro completely. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not worried about Okoro whatsoever. So tell me right now that Josh Giddey's supposed to drive to the paint. Like, he basically attempted to. He was trying to get by Queen. He's not good enough to get by him consistently, though. And we saw then the Pelicans come on over to stop this, right? And so that opens up a guy that's wide open, okay? And Alvarado just looks at him. Like, he's not even attempting to run out to Isaac Okoro. This is a wide open possession right here. Wide open shot. Alvarado doesn't even step out of the paint. And it's a wide open look, okay? But tell me right now, this is a bad offensive possession. Like, to me, the Bulls did everything right here. The Bulls did everything right. They got the switch. They tried to take advantage of Derek Queen on the perimeter, okay? And Giddey can't get by him. And you see a reason why he can't get by him is because Alvarado sells out off of Isaac Okoro, and then Giddey finds the wide open man, which is what everyone talks about, is that that's Giddey's strength, which he did right here, right? That he found a wide open guy, and Okoro was wide open. Alvarado does not close out after him, and he just misses. Like, I'm not mad at all on that shot whatsoever. Like, that offensive possession to me is totally fine. That's a wide open look with the defender nowhere within 8 feet of him, and he just missed. Like, Giddey created the open look. You tried to go after the mismatch. You forced the defense from the Pelicans to completely decide to sell out off of one of the shooters. And all of a sudden, Okoro's wide open. And, he just happened to miss it. Like, that's good offense to me. I know that maybe some people are like, oh my God, stop shooting threes. Like, you're 1 for 7 at this point. Okay, but what would you be okay if Okoro decided to turn down this shot right here? He was wide open. Like, he was wide open. Like, I'd be honestly pissed off more if he didn't shoot it and decided to hesitate, okay? Like, that's, to me, what I would look at. Like, I would hate for him to catch and think and hesitate on that shot and try to look to maybe drive here when there was no driving lanes. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. At the end of the day, the Bulls just don't have shot makers, and it ends up haunting them. Also, Vuce, who can't put the ball in the basket and can't do much else. I mean, yeah, Vucevic, like, this is, again, where I personally, I'm just going to have to disagree with people, honestly, when it comes to their assessment of the offense and saying that they think that that the Bulls offense is garbage. Like, I don't know what to tell people, honestly. Like, this to me, honestly, is what I'm trying to find a Vucevic shot here. Like, I mean, this is an open look for Vucevic. Like, this is in the paint. Like, this is even off of, like, they try to post them up. Like, this is good offense. Like, I don't know what people want, honestly. Like, this is good offense, okay? Vucevic threw it back out. Herter decided to drive. He got past Trey Murphy. Queen comes on over. And only Jose Alvarado is guarding Vucevic right here. And Vucevic just missed. Like, guys are missing just shots. They're just missing shots tonight. Like, I don't know what people want. Like, that's a wide open look at the basket that for some reason Vucevic decided not to bank off the backboard. And he could have easily just decided to, like, go into Alvarado, but didn't decide to do that for some stupid reason. But, like, this is not bad offense. This is just a missed shot. Hence, again, shot making. Like, it's a very important trait. Like, you can move the ball all around the perimeter and swing it and pass it well and be completely unselfish, but if the guy that takes the shot doesn't make it, it doesn't matter, okay? Like, shot making is always so important. And this shot right here, this is a wide open look in the paint for Vucevic, and he just missed it. Like, I don't know what people want. Like, I think this is totally fine. This here, again, is just like, I don't even know what happened here. What happened here? I just know Vucevic was missing a ton of shots, but... yeah, I mean, like, Vucevic just needs to make this. Like, this is another shot in the paint for the Bulls. Like, this is a shot in the paint. Like... I mean, Queen's not even trying to guard him here, basically. Queen's not a shot blocker, and Vooch just misses. Like, I don't know, like, that's a transition look for the Bulls, and he just happened to miss. So, I personally just disagree. I'm sorry to you, Ryan, and to maybe others that think that the Bulls offense was not doing a good enough ball movement or doing a good enough job of spreading the ball, or they're not running in transition enough. Like, I just look at this tonight as that the Bulls just didn't make their shots. Like, the Bulls had more fast break points than the Pelicans tonight. They had about the same second chance points. They didn't have more points in the paint. And I just showed you two shots that should have went in for the Bulls in terms of points in the paint. And it's just because the Bulls didn't make their looks. Like, if you're not gonna make your layups or your 6-footers, like, I don't know what to look for. Like, that's good offense, but you just didn't make the shot. Therefore, it looks awful in the box score. The Bulls had 26 assists tonight. Like, I'm adamant that the Bulls passed the ball perfectly fine tonight, and then they just didn't make their looks tonight. So, that's my opinion. I know people are gonna disagree, but I honestly don't know what to tell people, honestly. You can't get open shots down, run Princeton, back cut, screen and roll, pick and roll towards hoop, etc. But, okay, Ryan, tell me right now, like, were the two shots that I just showed you from Vucevic, were they were both in the paint, okay? Like, do you think that's bad offense? Because, like, you're asking for points in the paint, right? I just showed two plays where Vucevic had 2 feet in the paint and was wide open in the paint, basically, on one of them, and he just didn't miss. Like, I don't think it's bad offense. That to me is just what I'm saying is that's just the Bulls just can't make shots. Yeah, that's Vucevic being ass. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Bulls offense was fine. They just didn't make their looks tonight. Like, those are wide open shots from Vucevic that he needs to make in the paint. Like, this still doesn't mean the offensive sets are good. It is both, in my opinion. Okay, fair enough then. I will agree that I think that some offensive sets are definitely not. There's definitely not enough in terms of, like, creativity. I still think that the players are moving, but there's not enough creativity behind the play that I'm looking at as just like, oh, like, I can find ways to, like, you know, maybe create a little bit better open look for you here. But in my opinion, I really think that tonight, like, I think that you can run this game again tonight, basically, and the Bulls make, like, 4 more shots, and we're not talking about this Bulls offense being bad. Like, they'd have 30 assists for the game. If Vucevic just made those 2 shots, they'd have 28 assists in the game. And so, are we going to be talking about that the Bulls offense is terrible with 30 assists? Like, I still think they're moving the ball well enough. They're still running in transition well enough. It's just, it comes down to just that you don't have shot makers. So, That's all I'm just gonna say. I think that it really comes down to that. Could Donovan definitely make some better sets to run on offense? Yeah, I definitely think that there could be some work on that end to get the defense a little bit more confused. And like, for example, the Spain action play, it worked early on in the season. The opposing teams have scouted the Bulls enough to know like that's coming after every free throw. So like after every time the opponents shoot a free throw, especially if they make it, it's typically the play that the Bulls run out of the free throws when they bring it up the court. It's typically the Spain action. So I do think that there definitely needs to be some better overall diversity of play calling from Billy that could kind of throw off some teams to be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But at the end of the day, again, I just feel like it just comes down to guys just have to make their looks. Like I just look at that. I think it is just simple as that, honestly. These guys have to make their shots at the end of the day. It sucks that they didn't make them. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't like. There's a play here from Giddey that I was a little bit annoyed by. Like, to me, for example, like this is a blocked shot by Jalen Smith, right? Like this is the blocked shot by Jalen Smith. Okay, Bulls are out on the run. Buzelis has it. They're pushing. He finds Giddey, who decides to fake on Misi and drives. Okay, like, I mean, this is a very makeable shot for Giddey. He just happened to miss it. Like, that's a transition look that didn't go down. Also a paint look that didn't go down, and Giddey just didn't make it. Like, they're driving hard to the basket. He just didn't make his shots tonight. Like, it just comes down to that. So, I am gonna have to just disagree on that the Bulls offense was bad tonight because of lack of movement or lack of passing or lack of transition play. I will agree with you though that there needs to be more diversity within the offense to run better sets, to trick the defense a little bit better overall, especially without the lack of talent on your roster. With the lack of talent on your roster, you're gonna have to get a little bit more creative. I will agree with that. But you know, if you're talking about back cuts, for example, right? Like, it's hard to get open back cuts when when the guys with the ball in their hands don't really get that much attention from the defense. Like, it's really hard to get that overall when like Giddey's been overall good, but he's not like, the defense isn't like fully locked in on him compared to someone like Luka Doncic, for example. Like, it's harder to get those back cut looks when you don't have the full attention of the defense. So I understand that there's like you're hoping for more back cuts or more runs to the rim, but it's like it's hard to get that sometimes when the defense can just kind of load up on the paint and just kind of stare like at one guy and be like, yeah, we just dare you to make this look then, like, because we're not really playing fully that hard on defense, but like we're also aware enough that like, oh yeah, like you're still here. That guy with the ball is not that of a threat. Like, he's not that big of a threat. Like, limits your ability. Like, it overall limits your offense. On-ball gravity is a huge thing in many different cases, and like this is a prime example why. And the Bulls don't have much of it. Like, the Bulls just don't have that much on-ball gravity on their roster, and it's not shocking to see this. You get games like this. Let's see here. Sorry. And oh, by the way, just to wrap up this, showing of that Vucevic is terrible on the defensive end of the floor, because holy crap, this is, we know that. Vucevic is awful in the post. Where's the shot? Hold on, I need to find the shot. It is just disgusting just to see this. I have to show this because I honestly lost my shit when this happened. I was just like, oh my god, this is just insane just to see. Like, again, this is after Stacey King has called for Vucevic to get some looks in the post and everything, and I'm just like, okay, like it is just disgustingly bad to see this. Sorry, hold on, where is it? This was, 350, my bad. Yeah, I'll just play the play, honestly. Like, like, bro, I'm never gonna let this down. Like, what are we doing? This is like, you're in good post position. This is Matkovic, who's only playing the second half of this game, and you decide to do this. Like, this shot's nowhere close. Like, this missed completely from the, like, it didn't even touch rim. How the hell are you gonna tell me that this man is a good post-up player and he goes and does this? Like, what are we doing? Like, I lost. I legit, this happened. I was just like, oh my god, this is just like, it is the perfect play for me, just because I was so sick and tired of just listening to Stacey King all broadcast. I was just like, yo, we need more post-ups into this and that. And I'm like, oh dear lord, what a freaking just play from Vucevic, man. This play was just like, I was legit like, I was filled with joy, but also just like, I was filled with anger at the same time, because I'm like, this just shows how bad Vooch is in the post, man. He just doesn't have it at this point. He made his threes in the fourth quarter, but like, other than that, like, we don't need to post them up at this point. We're good. He needs to put out to pasture at this point. And IE's NBA is coming back. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's just, Sorry, hold on. I might have to respond to somebody on Twitter. Okay, no, I don't. Oh god, it just, that filled me with so much joy, but also just so much hatred for Vooch, man. I was just so annoyed. Reminds me when I said Vooch wasn't important to another content creator who shall not be named to protect the innocent. This is after he said we need to get Vooch going again. Yeah. Don't worry, man. I think that you're gonna hear a lot of content creators talk about how much they think Vucevic getting going is important. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand that that's what they're gonna say, because guess what? Stacey King says it all the time. Stacey King says it on his podcasts, and there's even people writing about it and talk about, like, yeah, we need to get Vooch going and everything. I'm just like, yeah, we could get Vooch going in, you know, from the 3-point line or in pick and roll opportunities, but the last thing I need to do is post up this man who was just one of the worst post up players in the league. So, like, that's their opinion at the end of the day, and they're gonna ignore the stats as always and just be like, oh, like, I don't want to look at it. And that's, you know, that's up to them. That's their decision at the end of the day. Also, for some reason, I don't know why, but like, NBA.com is glitched. So I want to like show you guys like how bad Vooch is in the post, but the problem is that I can't right now because for some reason, every time I go to NBA.com right now, this is what pops up. Like, here's the post up, okay? It is only showing like 23 people for some reason. Which is very clearly showing that it's glitched right now, because there's like multiple pages of players here. So I can't show you how bad Vooch is in the post right now. I wish I could, but unfortunately I can't do that because NBA.com is glitched. But last time I checked, it was 0.72 points per possession in the post, and now it's good for the 8th percentile in the league. So I'm not really sure why Vooch isn't listed, but. And like, you know, even when it's all glitched and whatever, but yeah, I don't really know why it's doing this here, but it just glitched for now for some weird reason. At the end of the day, though, trust me, it is not good. Which old legs just don't have anymore. And look, if that is the case, that's totally fine. Like, I understand that he is aging and he's probably not going to be that good overall with the ball in his hand sometimes. And so when you have two other centers on the roster who are very capable of playing, okay, like, I think that it is absolutely worth it to go ahead and play those guys versus playing Vucevic when you just see him out there. He can't make shots around the basket at this moment in time. And when he doesn't have it going from three, it's kind of a hard look right now from him. Defensively, he's basically nothing. So, if he's not making his threes, and he's definitely not making his shots around the rim recently, like, it's hard to play him. Like, it's hard to get value out of this guy because he doesn't bring anything on the other side of the floor. They call out people when they can't defend themselves. I understand that. I call it Stacey King a lot, and he technically can't defend himself on this platform, on my stream, right? But I will be continuously calling him out because he gets to broadcast the Bulls game every time. So I will call him out on that. I will agree with you, though, that I try not to call out too many content creators But when there are certain content creators that have said some really, really bad things, that I will call them out. I heard from other Bulls fans on YouTube that Stacey can't control his homerism at times. That is definitely true. I mean, I've even said that. I've even said that I think Stacey King is like very homerism. But I also made it clear that I do think that him and Adam Amin are a great duo. And it's totally fine that, you know, there is homerism. However, I do wish, though, that when it comes to Stacey King, that his analysis was better. Like, I wish his analysis of the game was better, because there's a lot of people watching this game, like, you know, and they're, like, trying to learn basketball, and, like, they're being told on the broadcast, like, this is a good play or this is not a good play, right? And so they grow up thinking certain things. And, hey, guess what? This was me when I was first learning basketball, when I first started watching the Bulls. I would listen to Stacey King and what he said, and I would pick up on his sayings and be like, oh, we should have posted up this guy here, or we should have done this here. Like, you know, there were all sorts of things I was learning about the game through Stacey King. But then, you know, I started watching other teams, and I started, you know, listening to other people, and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, and then the stats also then finally started showing up. It's like, oh, like, yeah, posting up this guy is not a good decision, or, hey, switching on defense is totally fine. Playing drop coverage is also completely okay, especially for a guy that is not able to move very well on the perimeter. And so for all the people calling out Carlos Boozer all the time, like, don't get me wrong, he was not good defensively. You need to try harder, but playing a drop coverage with him was kind of like what it was supposed to happen. You know, you guys remember all the times when Stacey King would call out Wendell Carter Jr. for playing a drop coverage in the pick and roll? Like, you know, many people would also say the same thing about, like, they would say the same thing. Like, they'd be like, oh, like, Wendell Carter Jr. is not up higher because Stacey King said so. When it's just like, no, that's the defense. Like, Wendell Carter Jr. is playing a drop coverage. Like, that's how it's supposed to go. It's not his fault that there are certain three-point shooters that made shots because of it. It's the perimeter defender's fault that guy got the three-point look because it didn't fire over the screen hard enough. So it's just like, that's just like stuff that I think is important, that, you know, people are gonna go and learn the game from Stacey King. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, you can go ahead and do that, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna always do that. But in my opinion, I've been adamant, like, no, we gotta, like, there's certain things in basketball right now that is very much so like, hey, we gotta change our ways. and understand certain things. Like, it's a different era at this point. Nobody's propping up someone who's so clearly washed. Yeah, try to be a nice guy, but doesn't mean I can't deny reality. Hey, man, we all try to be nice, right? But sometimes we gotta understand some things, and just have to, like, say it when it has to be said. But it just has to legit split time between Vooch and Collins, and also Jalen Smith. I think Jalen Smith has honestly played pretty well, and he offers some defense, man. Like, I'm not saying Jalen Smith is a good defender, but he at least offers some sort of rim protection. Ryan channeling his inner Owen Hart when he joined the Rocks Nation. Angry Coaching did an entire video calling the Bulls for drop coverage. Under which regime? Was it under the Thibodeau regime, or was it under the Boylan regime? Or was it under the Billy Donovan regime? Which one? Because I'd be interested in, because, like, I'm gonna make a guess and say it wasn't under Boylan, because Boylan would blitz everything very recently. Oh, we're talking about this team. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let me just say this. I don't think Vucevic can do anything else defensively. Like, he is basically, like, he is stuck in the drop coverage because he can't move his feet. So I'm gonna have to disagree with him there. But in terms of, like, Zach Collins and, like, Jalen Smith, I do think you can change up your pick and roll defense. Like, you can run an ice coverage here and there, or you can blitz one pick and roll to change it up. But when it comes to Vooch, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't think there's anything you can really do. Like, he's not quick enough to blitz. He's not good enough to, like, play up on the screen. And you have to depend on your perimeter defenders to get through the screens. And I think Vooch honestly has done, like, our okayest job when it comes to, like, pick and roll coverages. He's just not offering any support around the rim. Like, he's like positionally where he should be on the pick and roll coverage. I'm not saying it's, like, good or anything. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm not really expecting anything else from him because he's just that bad. But it's at the rim when he's supposed to come over and help in rotation is just, like, he's awful there. But But in terms of like when you watch him like in a pick and roll coverage when it's like top the key, like he's usually where he's supposed to be. Like it's not always looking the best because he moves so slow, but that's like, what are you going to run with him instead? Like, are you going to run a blitz coverage or an ice coverage? Like, it's hard to run those coverages when you don't have like an athletic big out there, especially with the current NBA. Dr. Robotnik, when he coached, was wanting defenders glued even when it didn't make sense. I see. I mean, I think unfortunately with today's era, it's harder to like kind of be like that. I think you can run that sort of defense in previous eras, or even like, you know, like early 2010s decade, but it's because the mid-range is not as prevalent, and you have to worry about all the three-point shooters around the floor. Like you kind of have to kind of zone up on some certain actions, and try to take away the rim or the three-point shot. Like it's just how it has to go. So like pick and roll coverages is one of the hardest things to do in this league for a reason. But like when you don't have the best overall defenders out there on the court, like then you have to make sure you're not at least giving up a layup. If I have a Nick Claxton on defense though, then yeah, I can have him up on the pick and roll I want, and I think it's a good decision. Like, yeah, have Nick Claxton up there. Like he can move around with everybody, and he is perfectly fine like being up there on the perimeter. But yeah, with Vucevic though, but like even like some of the better rim protectors, like I think for example like Zubac, like I think Zubac is also like a pretty decent rim protector, and like he should still be in drop coverage. Like that's just how it has to go. When Brook Lopez was playing with Milwaukee, it's the same thing. Like he was always in drop coverage because he can't move his feet that great, but he's a good shot blocker. Like that's how it has to be. Like I'm not like when it comes like for example like Nikola Jokic, like I'm not gonna have him be always up on the screen. Like that's just not a good decision. Like it's gonna wear him out. He can't move that great, and I need to conserve his energy. So I have to depend on the other guys to get around the screen effectively and cover up for him. Same thing with Embiid when he was healthy, obviously. Now, yes, there is always Oklahoma City, but they're different. Like the OKC is just like the pinnacle of defense, and it's absolutely insane with what they've built. But they're a different story. Like we have to look at them differently and understand that not every team has 15 good defenders out there on the floor and has ginormous wingspans at all times. Like, yeah, it'd be great to always have that out on the floor, but not every team has the luxury of that. So it's pretty tough to replicate what OKC has done, and I don't expect any team to do so. OKC is a different sort of situation right now. They're awesome to watch, but yeah. All right, a couple other things I want to show you guys before we move on and talk about a couple other things here. So more plays, because I want to just show also that if you do think that this team was doing fine defensively tonight, I'm gonna make an argument that they weren't. Okay. And so this is just to show you that I still am seeing many defensive issues that I'm still having problems with right now, because like I understand that people are going to make mistakes, don't get me wrong, it's going to happen, and I'm not shocked if it does, okay? But we do need to see this team to get better overall defensively in some certain aspects, and I'm just talking about just like not giving up like the simple things, okay? So for example here, by fact, I mean we are trying so hard when they clearly are not. Oh yeah, 100%. Let's look here, okay? So here's a jump ball play. Sorry, I'm gonna go back a little bit more here. Okay, so keep note of what I am showing you right here. I'm not fully showing the play, but basically the Bulls just made a shot. I think DT made this. I'm not entirely sure though. But the Bulls just made a shot. As you can see here, the Pelicans are inbounding it with 2:10 left, okay? What is the Bulls' transition defense here? Reminder, they just made a shot on this. They just made the shot. Meanwhile, 6 seconds later, Jordan Poole's, or not even, 4 seconds later, Jordan Poole's up and making a shot on the other end. Like, this cannot happen. This is something that the Bulls can avoid, even with their terrible defense. This is something the Bulls can avoid 100%. I don't understand how this was allowed to happen. Unfortunately, the camera zoomed in on DT, so we couldn't really fully see what happened with the Bulls defense, but this is unacceptable. I cannot stand seeing this. This pissed me off when I saw it. This is a transition error by the Bulls this game, and unfortunately I'm going to show you multiple times when this did happen. It's, you know, this is why the Bulls end up losing these games. It's like you give those easy buckets to a team that is also struggling on offense, and oh wow, would you look at that? It's we're all of a sudden down a significant margin, and we can't come back, and all those points that they got in transition, it's just like, wow. Let's just watch this here. I'm pointing this out not necessarily to say that someone like did anything bad, but it's just kind of interesting just to see what the Bulls are planning to do with this double big lineup out here on the floor. To be clear, I don't love the double big lineup. It's not exactly my favorite, but like Collins and Smith have been okay so far together, so we'll see how it continues. But it's interesting just to see though that they do look like they're switching with Jalen Smith. So when Jalen Smith is playing the 4, it looks like they are actually looking to switch it. And so it then ends up like with this, which is, it's definitely not the best defense from Jalen Smith here. Like he very clearly was not prepared to switch. And so I'm just pointing this out that the Bulls need to figure this out. Like, are we switching this or are we not? Yet again, the switching is just not good by the Bulls. And so this leads to an open look for Saddiq Bey, and he doesn't make it, but it's still something that needs to get addressed here because I'm not happy with overall how the Bulls played that. So there's that play for the Bulls that they need to work on. Reminder that at the beginning of the second quarter, the Pelicans didn't make their shot, but the Pelicans opened up the second quarter by missing 4 shots, and they got 3 offensive rebounds. And the Bulls just couldn't get any. They couldn't find a way to get the defensive rebound. I don't know why that happened, but just guys are not trying hard enough to get the defensive rebound. So I'm not going to show you the play, but like I think we all know about the play. Let's watch this play because I was not happy overall with how the Bulls defended in transition here either. Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Okay, so again, voiding copyright. Okay, shots gonna go up here from from Zach Collins. It's a miss. Okay, here's the rebound. So I'm looking at where are we all at, right, compared to where the Pelicans are all at. Okay, and I'm counting Pelicans, like they're all here. Like the Bulls should find a way to beat this team down the floor. Yet somehow watch what happens on this play. I honestly am just confused. So Bulls are down. They're down here, right? Like they're completely fine here. Like they all got back. The Pelicans decided to slow it down. And why is Jordan Poole allowed to just drive right to the rim here? Like, or sorry, Herb Jones. My bad. If I wrote down Jordan Poole, my bad. But it was Herb Jones. Like this right here is a prime example of why I'm not the biggest fan of the double big lineup with Jalen Smith and Zach Collins, because both of them were looking at each other and saying that, oh, you have Herb Jones, okay, and then I'll take the big man in Misi, right? Both of them were looking at like, oh no, you got Herb Jones, and so Herb Jones then is basically being unguarded, and so they both react late, and it ends up being a foul here for Herb Jones to get to the free throw line. Like, this is, again, just another thing that is just unacceptable. You cannot allow this to happen. This is not even in fully transition. It's like semi-transition. And it's just because you didn't communicate. And you see here, both Smith and Collins are talking to each other. Like, yo, like, what are we doing? And for what I've seen, Jalen Smith is the 4. So he's got to pick him up. But they just have to talk no matter what. They just have to talk about, like, yo, like... We just gotta talk about this and figure out like who's actually guarding who. And so then of course the Bulls then back it up after that possession with Herb Jones in like semi-transition, and we watch here on this play, we throw it over to Jordan Poole, and somehow, some way, Herb Jones is basically just allowed to go right to the rim on this play. And this is where Buzelis, I do think, messed up. But you could also argue that this should be Zach Collins because he's the big man. Either way, though, it's unfortunate just to see this where it is 4v3 or honestly like 5v3 here, but you can't try to force them to go out to the 3-point line here for the Bulls. Okay, I do think Zach Collins should probably be maybe the guy to drop, I know people are talking about Buzelis should also maybe drop here, but I personally would have Collins go to the paint. So I do think that maybe Collins should have been the guy to come on in here. But either way, though, figure it out. I don't care who it is, but this is still just bad. By the Bulls overall. let's watch another transition play. So if you're not understanding my theme, I think you understand it now. I'm just like, I'm showing you guys that in transition, the defense for the Bulls in transition was not good enough tonight. And I was getting frustrated just watching this team not find ways to kind of counteract the Pelicans transition play, because I honestly don't think there's much of a excuse for them, honestly, at the end of the day. So here is a play here where if you don't know what this play is, Patrick Williams just threw it out to Isaac Okoro from in the corner. Okoro shot it, he missed. And so then this is what happens, okay? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate this effort from Patrick Williams, but once he sees that he just doesn't have it, like, just run back. But then, in knowing that this is happening, right, someone's still got to pick up Jeremiah Fears. Like, someone's got to pick this guy up. Like, Patrick is behind the ball at this point. Someone's got to pick him up in transition, and I don't understand why no one did, but, like, please, Trey Jones, like, Kobe, I don't care. Someone's got to pick up Jeremiah Fears when you see that Patrick Williams is behind on this play. And it leads to then Jeremiah Fears getting fouled at the rim. So, again, another transition bucket or opportunity for the Pelicans to, I'm just like, someone's got to pick up ball. And, you know, I always like to make the joke that the most important thing in basketball is, in fact, the basketball. So if I'm watching one of my teammates is behind the play and is behind the basketball and is in no way, shape, or form able to go ahead and try to stop the basketball from getting to the basket, then someone needs to pick up the basketball and not allow Jeremiah Fears to get a line drive right to the basket in transition. This is, again, I think, stuff that is avoidable. I'm not saying that this is going to end up being a good defensive possession. I'm just saying that we just don't give up the easy look inside. This is just annoying just to see, and I don't think you need to be a good defensive team to figure this stuff out. I just think you just need to communicate. And so I'm frustrated just seeing this. One more time, just for the love of it, because the Bulls love giving up this sort of play. I'm realizing very quickly, but when it comes to the Bulls, they love doing this, where they decide, like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make a shot, and then I'm going to go ahead and give up a made shot immediately after we make the shot. So, for example, let's watch this play here. The Bulls are going to go ahead and make a shot. As you see here, the Bulls made it. I believe Giddey just went ahead and scored. I'm not entirely sure. Derek Queen is inbounding the ball. So, mind you, he inbounded the ball at 7:50. Okay, keep that in mind. Again, the Bulls just made a shot. They just made the shot. So, I would hope that your defense is in some level of form here to make sure that they can't just go down and get a bucket. But instead, I watch this team just drop back on defense, and we let Jeremiah Fears go right to the baskets and get a layup off of it. And he makes a shot with 6 seconds after getting the ball from the inbound. I just don't understand what happened here. Like, I'm annoyed that we keep doing these zoom ins. Like, I don't want to. I hate when we do zoom in like this on players, because I don't see what's happening on the floor from everybody. But like, that play right there is the epitome of just like, not only do the Bulls just decide like to check out for a second after the made shot, the producer for CHSN also did as well. So it's very clearly a thing where they think that, oh, we're gonna just relax after a made shot here for a few seconds. That can't happen, okay? This is unacceptable. You just made a shot. Jeremiah Fears is then going to go out and score in 6 seconds later. How? Like, he took it the length of the court, and no one picked him up to stop him, and got in right to the basket and just made this easily. I don't understand how this is possible whatsoever, but here we are, talking about this yet again. It's just, throughout this game, I'm just watching this team not pick up guys in transition. Even after a made bucket, they're just allowing the Pelicans just to run down the floor and get an easy look. So yeah, I'm annoyed. And so last but not least, I have to show this play, because this is talking about we talked about, you know, drop coverage and everything just recently, but here's something that cannot happen if you are running drop coverage if you're the Bulls, okay? And so I'm going to show you this play here. If you're the Chicago Bulls in this play, you can't run drop cover, or sorry, you can't let Jeremiah Fears reject the screen if you are running drop coverage. So let me show you what exactly I mean. And I've talked about this extensively on this channel already, okay? But you're going to see here, basically, from Fears, here's the setup, right? So here's the flare screen, but then you're going to see Matkovic is going to come on over here and look as if he's going to set a screen, right? So here he comes, right? Here's the screen. If you're Kevin Huerter, okay, like, if we're running this drop coverage, which we are, this has always been the thing. You have to force him to take the screen, okay? Huerter basically ran it as if this was an ice coverage, and you see here, with Fears going now here, there is no one here to intercept him, right? Like, Vooch is on this side, okay? You have to make him take the screen and force him into Vucevic. That is the only way possible to stop him on this pick and roll. Instead, though, you let him reject the screen, and Vucevic is not on that side of the floor, so the only guys able to come in and stop him are Patrick Williams, which he probably should have came over and stop him here, but also Josh Giddey, but, like, then Trey Murphy's right there. But, I mean, it's just, again, it's a step in the paint, and so you let Fears get 2 steps into the paint, Giddey has to come on over off of Trey Murphy, so then Murphy goes to the 3-point line here, Montes Buzelis has to then go out to where the ball is ever thrown to, whichever one, and he sees, oh, Saddiq Bey's going to get it. He runs out to him. He does his job, but then Saddiq Bey throws it to the corner, and no one rotated over to get back to Trey Murphy, and this ends up being a wide-open 3-point shot that gets the friendly bounce and goes in, okay? But this is set up by the Bulls not doing well at the point of attack, right? Huerter allowed Fears to reject the screen, therefore it forces the defense to rotate and collapse, and it leads to a wide open Trey Murphy 3-point shot, where a lot of people are looking at it as like, well, where's the help? Like, someone's got to help Buzelis, and yeah, that is the case, but for me personally, I'm looking at it as like, what are we doing at the top of the key? Like, defensively, that is such a shit overall job by Kevin Huerter that it leads to that play. That we can't have that if you're Huerter. Like, that was like the last thing Huerter should have allowed to happen. Like, he basically did the worst case scenario. Like, forcing at least Fears to take the screen and like you're still late, that is a better scenario than allowing this to happen. He let Fears just reject it and was wide open to the basket, and it puts the defense in disarray because there's no way that the Bulls can get back into the play. So it's very frustrating to watch that because it's just like, bro, like, we're still talking about just terrible defensive moments where you're just like, man, like, it's just, again, simple things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that defending NBA players is simple, but you're also in the NBA. So I expect to see at least some sort of NBA level competency on the defensive end, or at least defensive IQ, but maybe I overestimate these guys. Modern NBA ISO can literally be someone charging up the court to score. I've seen it a bunch this season. Wait, what are you saying? Are you saying like that's an ISO play, or are you saying it's like a good transition opportunity? Like, or are you saying like that's an ISO? Like, I wouldn't call it an ISO, but I guess you could argue it is an ISO at the end of the day. Yeah, I guess that could technically be an ISO. It's just that you're facing, like, instead of it being like a one-on-one matchup, it's like it's like a 1-on-3, but the defense is just not ready. Therefore, you get an easy look out of it. So yeah, I can understand that as like maybe being an ISO, but it's becoming one in this league. Watching Thinking Basketball's vid about it. I see. Okay, I mean, I'm not shocked to see it, like, especially when the Bulls don't have any sort of defensive capabilities at that point. Like, the Bulls are just sleeping when it comes to after a made bucket. Like, the Bulls are sleeping on defense. So yeah, go ahead, take advantage, man. Like, if you're Jeremiah Fears, you did everything right. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Yeah, I guess I'm not shocked to see that this is becoming a constant thing, but we'll see if defenses adjust. Thinking Basketball is very good with his stuff, so I do appreciate his work. All right, so with that being said, the Bulls have yet again failed another game that they should probably win. And oh, by the way, you can't tell me that, oh, injuries. That's not going to work again, okay? It wasn't working when the Bulls did have injuries, okay? But like in today's game, the only guy you're missing is Ayo. So you can't tell me like, oh, injuries. Like, we're basically healthy in today's game. Like, Kevin Huerter's back and had actually a pretty decent game overall. The Bulls just suck. So, don't tell me injuries. Don't make that excuse. Like, the only guy we're missing is Io. Okay. Asenge's out for the season. He wasn't playing anyway, and then the other 3 guys are on G League assignment. So, no excuses tonight. You had everybody available. You just didn't come out and perform. So, that's all on these guys. It's on Billy Donovan, and very clearly, yet again, I'm gonna keep saying this: the Pelicans' young core is better than the Bulls' young core right now. I'm not shocked to say that. It's just really frustrating where I think that even without a game where Queen is like not even really showing that much, like the Pelicans core just looks significantly better to me. And Zion came off the bench. Like it's just insane for me just to see this where I'm like, Queen who shot 2 for 4, Zion came off the bench, and yeah, I'm still sitting here thinking, wow, like Trey Murphy is better than everybody, which granted, I understand Trey Murphy is maybe a little bit more towards vet status, but hey, Josh Giddey and Kobe White are both in their second contract as well. And Jeremiah Fears, who it just looks like the best guard on the floor tonight. So it's frustrating just to see that because it really makes me think of how far the Bulls are from even putting out a competent roster right now. They're lacking scoring very clearly, but they're also lacking very solid defense, and it's really frustrating just to see. Which I don't want to say it's like we're lacking like dynamic players, which we obviously are, but I hate. Yeah, I just hate overall. We are lacking some dynamic players overall for this team. So maybe I am wrong about Montes Buzelis. Like, you know, I respect your opinion, Ryan, about like you think that he might be overrated. I just think that we're not featuring him at all. I think that if Kobe's taking 10 threes and only made 1, that's a problem. So, but yeah, that's just my opinion at the end of the day. Help me out, Ryan. I saw you comment on the last stream, but I don't remember half the comment because you mentioned like RT Blues on the comment. But did you see the trade that I was offering or suggesting about Kobe White to the Timberwolves? Did you get to that part of the stream, or did you comment about it? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Okay. So if people weren't here, okay, there's a Minnesota trade, makes sense there. Okay, so yeah. So just a reminder what I'm thinking right now. So look, Kobe did not make me happy tonight. I understand he was the Bulls' leading scorer. I don't think this was a good game from him though. I think defensively he also kind of struggled. But look, Kobe's stats, like, they're not the worst, right? Like, this is not updated, by the way. Like, this is not updated for tonight's game. But like, they're not the worst stats, but they're definitely not anything that's suggesting to me that he's gonna like suddenly turn a corner or anything like that. He's like, I understand that he's had his injuries this season, and like he's still probably kind of working his way into game conditioning and everything, but I'm very, very like disappointed overall with his 3-point shooting, and his overall efficiency is taking a massive hit because of that. So again, this is heading into tonight's game. Okay, this 3-point percentage is going to go down after it updates. I'm not sure what's going to update to though, but yeah, I'm pretty overall just annoyed with how Kobe has played recently. But I understand that he's had his injuries. However, the thing is that the Bulls are running out of time here. And today is the 14th, right? Yeah, so tomorrow is a big day, if you're wondering. Where basically like 95 to 97% of the league is then available via trade. Because all the free agents that signed a contract this offseason and went to a new team, or got like a big extension upgrade, they're now eligible to be traded. Most players, okay, like for example, like Josh Giddey is not. He is going to be eligible to be traded on January 15th. But for example, somebody like Trey Jones, he will be eligible to be traded, as this is the restriction. Is lifted for all the free agents, most of the free agents, I should say, that signed in the offseason. So We are still we were hearing before, obviously, the Hornets game that the Minnesota Timberwolves are interested. Now, look, I'm hoping Kobe can find a shot again, because if Kobe can't find his 3-point shot again, then I don't know why the Timberwolves would do this trade, but this is basically what I am suggesting, and I think it's a very good trade for the Bulls. And I just don't know how I want to look at this, because, like, yeah, I don't think Kobe's going to continue shooting under 30% from 3-point range for the rest of the season, but I just don't know how much higher it's going to go, because he's had a little bit of a rough stretch here. And so, like, every missed shot is just going to make his percentage to get up higher harder. So, if I'm the Bulls, like, I wouldn't mind doing this soon if you could do it. As long as, like, people do think that, like, or at least the Timberwolves do think that, yeah, Kobe can help. Because the thing is that, like, Kobe with his injuries has just really, really scared me this season with his calf injuries. And so that takes his value. If he's not playing well, that will also hurt his value. But at least right now, it's kind of like his value is in, like, the hypothetical that, like, oh, he'll be shooting better eventually. Like, he'll come on into the Timberwolves and, like, he'll find his rhythm. He won't have as big of a role with the Timberwolves, so, like, it will take some pressure off of him. Like, there's, like, that kind of, like, hypothetical value going on right now for Kobe. And so, like, I'm just kind of saying, like, I would kind of push for this to happen soon here. Because I don't know what exactly we're going to be getting from Kobe from here on out. Like, now, still, to give Kobe some credit, like, he's not shooting well, but he's still getting to 21 points per game, basically. So, like, give him credit there. But he needs to find a way to get his field goal percentage to be significantly higher, because what is not going to happen in Minnesota is that he's not going to average 8 free throws a game. So, I'm really kind of concerned about him right now, and so I'm kind of just like, I kind of want to push for the trade before, like, he can maybe tank his value even more. But I just want to hear people's thoughts on that. Baron J could at least develop into legit big. That's my thought as well. Now, to all the Kobe White fans that are like, this is, like, nothing for Kobe. Like, again, we have to understand where his value is right now. I'm not saying I know where his value is. I'm just kind of going off of my assumptions of just, like, knowing what Kobe White is as a player. He's on the last year of his contract, and if he gets traded, that team cannot offer him an extension that is worth his time, okay? If you want to know how much the team can offer him an extension, here's basically the number for you. I'll do it on stream here, okay? So Kobe's contract this season is $12.88 million, okay? So you do this, you times this by 1.4, which is 140%, okay? This is basically his first year salary. You times this by 4. This is basically what you can only get offered if you're Kobe White right now, okay? Let me double check that actually. Hold on, let me check one thing. Want to double check the average out. Yeah. So, pretty much though, if you're wondering how extensions work, it's based off your previous, it's either based off your previous salary or it's based off the average salary for the NBA, okay? And so, as you can see here, the average salary is less than Kobe White's last year of his contract, so we're going to be using his last year of his contract. So, pretty much though, any team or the Bulls, what they can offer him right now is just this much. Give or take a few million, because this number is probably closer to like about 75, 76 million if you account for, increase in percentage every single year. But either way, though, it's not like if you're Kobe White, like even if you struggle this season, you're worth more than this much. So let's say, for example, he gets traded to the Timberwolves, right? There's a high chance that he could just walk in free agency because the Timberwolves can't offer him a contract extension until they basically can't offer him any sort of contract until he hits unrestricted free agency. And at that point, it's out of the Timberwolves' control, right? They can offer him a lot of money still. They'll get his bird rights in this deal, but it's still a risk though, because like he could just walk. Like he could just sign honestly to some other team and be like, yeah, you know what? I'll take like the mid-level exception and go to some team that right now that I think has a better chance of winning. And the Timberwolves can offer him a lot of money, but he'll turn down the money. So it is very much out of the team's control if he is traded. Therefore, that lowers Kobe White's value significantly. Not to mention that he has been injured this season, has had 2 calf issues. Both of his calves have given him issues. He's missed many games because of these calf issues. and now his 3-point percentage is dipped. So if you think that this is not much in return, I would heavily disagree with you. Berenger was the 17th overall pick in this past draft. The Bulls were interested in Berenger in this past draft before they drafted Asenge. And I think that Berenger, like, he is definitely very raw, so don't get me wrong. Like, if the Bulls get Berenger, like, you know, him and Asenge are both very, very raw prospects. But he, to me, has a legit shot at becoming, like, the Bulls' center of the future, and can be, like, a good rim runner, good finisher around the rim, and also a good shot blocker and rim protector. It's just the fact that Berenger, like, he's very raw, but also didn't pick up basketball until much later in his life. So it's going to be definitely harder to maybe get some, like, you know, basketball kind of what's it called? I always forget what it's called in NBA 2K, but yeah, it's not attributes, it's the kind of the stat that they kind of use to kind of affect players overall. But anyway, but his feel for the game is going to definitely take a little bit to kind of develop. And it's just because he didn't pick up basketball until much later in his life. So, but I still think that it's definitely a chance. I completely agree with Ryan that, like, he has a chance to be a legit big. And I'm very intrigued by him. So, I personally, if this is offered today, if I'm the Bulls, I am taking this. I don't think you get any picks. You're also not sending out a pick, which is a good thing. I think it's worth it for the Timberwolves as well, because Conley has struggled. And so doing this, like, you cut a little bit off in terms of, like, where they are in terms of, like, the luxury tax and everything. And the Bulls would just waive Conley, basically. So, I don't know. I think it's personally worth it. I know some people don't, but I'd be looking at this deal right now. I'd be looking at this deal for a bit now if you're the Bulls. So, be prepared. Maybe something does happen soon here, especially with December 15th tomorrow. Again, a lot of players that are not eligible to be traded right now suddenly become eligible to be traded in 2 hours. So, be on the lookout for any sort of trade stuff. I just want to bring this up again, just kind of refresh everybody about it, because it seems like the Timberwolves want to make a move soon. So I don't know what that means, but they might be kind of desperate to make a move here. So just be keeping that in mind about that moving forward. Yeah, Steph Curry has come back and it's just putting on a show, but the Warriors seem to not be able to get wins, so it's just disappointing. Oh wow, this game got close. Wow. Lakers still won though. Okay. Well, LeBron's back. He's finally back to himself, I guess. This is not a good game from Luka. This is a nasty game, but free throws help, I guess. Wow, this is interesting for sure. Good game from Ayton. Good return for him. All right, but let's talk about the Bulls' upcoming schedule here, because you know, they were offered some kind of freebie wins, or I guess I shouldn't say freebies, but like some easier games. But that is no longer the case past this little stretch. So, in this little stretch, starting from the Washington game where Vooch called out the team, all the way until this last New Orleans game where we face New Orleans again, the Bulls only got 2 wins. So, from Washington down to New Orleans, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, the Bulls went 2-8. As you can see here, that is where it is. Now, I expect the Bulls to lose in that Orlando game. That is totally fine. But the fact that you only won 2 of these games when most of these teams had 4 wins or less when you faced them, and that included tonight, is very disappointing by this Bulls team. It is incredibly disappointing to see that this Bulls team lost to most of these teams when they all had 4 wins or less. The only teams that did not include in that is Golden State and Orlando. But in all the losses that we faced, that we gave up in New Orleans, or that we had against New Orleans, against Charlotte, against Indiana, against Brooklyn, all had 4 wins or less when they won those games. So that is that. Now, it does not get much easier here for the Bulls. Okay. So Cleveland is next. We have a home and home against Cleveland here. First game is going to be at the United Center. This game will be on Wednesday. So the Bulls have 2 days off here before we get back to it. Cleveland just lost to Charlotte, so I don't really know what that means, but I don't feel good about either of these games for the Bulls here. But Evan Mobley is out, so I mean there is a chance the Bulls can go out and maybe get a couple of wins against Cleveland, but I'm gonna say at most they get only one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I do think that Jarrett Allen is also out right now, so that's gonna help the Bulls with like their lack of size and everything. But Donovan Mitchell has notoriously killed us in his time in a Cavs uniform. So, oh, Jarrett Allen did play today. Okay, so Allen is back, but Evan Mobley's out for a while. So we will see how this goes. Honestly, I don't feel good about that. After that, we then go ahead and face Atlanta twice. Both games in Atlanta. I don't know why the NBA did this. This is a weird schedule, but we will be facing Atlanta twice here, and so I don't know. The Bulls have been okay against Atlanta. I don't know when Trae Young's supposed to be back, but they've been pretty all right against Atlanta. But Atlanta just won against the 76ers tonight, so we will see how this is going to work out. Dyson Daniels just had a game, so yeah, look out for these upcoming games here. Jalen Johnson's having a hell of a season. Not the best game tonight, but still a triple-double, so that's going to be interesting to see. But we then round out this December month here, and so we're going to go through Christmas. We don't play on Christmas, obviously, but then day after Christmas, we face Philly. That game's on Prime, by the way, okay? So for all you people that want to watch Bulls games, just a heads up that the game against Philadelphia, the day after Christmas, okay, this game is on Prime. So make sure that you have your Prime subscription ready to watch this game. I think it's only on Prime. That's what it looks like. So be ready to watch this game on Prime, okay? But Philly, obviously, I think is better than us. And then Milwaukee, I don't think Giannis will be back, but we will see. So there's maybe a win here. Minnesota, and then New Orleans again. So all I really care about, again, is that we develop Buzelis properly here. And so, again, I think that the Bulls are going to be taking some rough L's in these next couple of games here, especially in the next 5 games. But you got to make sure that Buzelis plays, man. Like, I just don't understand why Buzelis is not playing more, like at least 30 minutes a night at bare minimum. It should be getting more. He also needs more than 5 shots. I'm sorry. But even if the Bulls are like not playing that great, even with like Buzelis on the floor, like just still play him. I don't really care about the results right now. I care more about development. So, you know, the Bulls had a chance to get their record right during this little stretch here, and they went 2-8. So it's going to be nothing easy from here on out. And so be prepared for not fun games moving forward here, because the schedule does not get any easier by any means moving forward. So that's just a look ahead for the Bulls schedule here. Be here. I'll be here when it comes to Bulls postgame. So make sure that you tune into Bulls postgame on this channel. And so I will be covering all these games at least until further notice. I'll let you guys know if I do have a change in schedule. What's going on, Taro King? Got my Prime sub? Yep, that's good. Be ready to have your Prime sub ready and everything. So I know a lot of people already have like Amazon Prime, and so if you have Amazon Prime, you're able to watch the Prime games for free or through your Prime subscription. So not for free, but through your Prime subscription. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Other things though, I just want to go ahead and just make clear. So if you are not aware of the in-season tournament, which the San Antonio OKC game was awesome, I unfortunately could not fully watch it because my internet was garbage. But the championship game for the in-season tournament is on Tuesday. So make sure to tune in for this game, because this could be a good game. I think it will be, at least. But it is also on Prime Video. So if you want to make sure you want to tune into this game, then it's going to be pretty fun. I don't know how I feel about the in-season tournament this season. I still don't overall like it. I still have some gripes about the fact that it's held in a neutral site. I hate that overall, but yeah, you know, it's led to some interesting basketball, at least in some games. But I'm still not the overall biggest fan. But definitely tune into this game if you have the time. 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and then the Bulls will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I don't expect the Bulls to win this game. I think Donovan Mitchell's going to wreck us, but we will end up seeing what does end up happening here. But 9:30 p.m. Central Time on this channel for the post-game stream. So be here after the game. So, with that being said, though, I want to say thank you all to tuning into this Bulls post-game stream. The Bulls have yet again let us down and found a way to lose to a team with 4 wins or less on the season. They then now drop down to 10-15 for the year. Congratulations to the Bulls for doing such a tremendous thing. And we are still 11th in the standings. So, find ways to get below Charlotte. I think that'd be a good overall thing for this Bulls team. That'd be overall the best decision possible. Be on the lookout for any of my on-tap Sportsnet stuff. I'll be posting the community tab when it is live. I sincerely do appreciate all the support with the on-tap Sportsnet content. If you're new to the channel like Bulls content, please subscribe. And please, as always, hit the like button on the stream. It helps me out tremendously. We've been having a great year. It's been overall a great year, even though the Bulls have been disgustingly terrible. It's been a great year so far on this channel. I sincerely do appreciate it. But that is going to do it for me, though. I sincerely do appreciate all of you for tuning into this Bulls postgame stream, even though it was a disappointing overall game. And I'll be seeing you guys on Wednesday. Happy Hanukkah to all those who do celebrate and all those celebrating the holidays right now. Everyone, please be safe and make sure you stay warm in Chicago. All right, y'all. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.